messaging. So here's how we're going to break up messaging. Telling a great story. So the pitch has to be a great story. You have to know who you're telling that story to. You got to know your audience and who you're sitting in front of. You've got to be clear and concise. I'm going to say that over and over and over again. Clear and concise. Make sure that your ideas are super clear. And then using a deck framework. Don't reinvent the wheel. There are prescribed ways to structure that. And we're going to go over each one of those. So let's talk about the first one, telling a great story. Now, there's a million different story frameworks. This is the most popular one in Hollywood and writing books and everything like that. And so if your business, if your mission, the thing that you're setting out for, that is a story. So you're setting out the intro. This is who you are, right? This is Lord of the Rings. It's introducing them to Frodo and all the other characters. And then there's the conflict, right? So in this case, something happens to the main character and there's this big problem and then there's this action. And finally it ends with the hero doing something, the hero in the action of actually solving that problem and then going down through the following action and ultimately to the resolution. Now, if you look at how a pitch would go, intro is what's your one sentence summary? What do you do? What do you make? And we're going to talk about why the YC application, the very first question is, what does your company do? Second question, what does your company make? So they're very specific about just tell us what you do and what you make. That's the intro. Then it gets into the problem. It gets into the conflict, right? So the problem and the conflict, same thing. And then we get into rising action, which is what is the solution? What is it going to take? Not you. You're not the solution. And that's something I say all the time. You are not the solution. The solution is the concept, right? So if Uber is talking the solution about ride sharing, it's not Uber the solution. Ride sharing the solution. Uber happens to be best positioned to deliver that solution. That way, then they're not arguing whether you're best positioned. They're arguing whether that's a solution or not. So it's conceptual. The solution is the concept that you're selling. Then you get up to the product demo, which is, oh, there's a problem. This is a solution. This is what the solution would need to happen. And boom, this is how we're actually going to do it. That's the top. That's the apex. And then as you go down through your meeting, now it gets to the nitty gritty stuff, right? Now it gets into, well, how are you going to execute it? What's your team, right? And then essentially is the fundraise, which is the resolution with all that stuff. We couldn't do it without money to do that. So that's the story arc. And we could dive into a million different story arcs, but that's really all you need to know, that to understand that you're taking them through a journey.